Hello. So you can see the top compound there, nearly empty. The bowsers, machinery, everything else has been taken away. There's already a work hut down at the other end, so I'm not sure if that work hut will be taken off site. The skip, I'm not 100% sure it will go down because it'll be very hard to get a wagon to go and empty it down there. Wait and see. But as you can see, there's the dumper is towing the last bowser round, and this shows ideally the way in from this side and how poor the access is. So you're turning off the housing estate now onto the, sorry, that was Ernie playing with his ball again, just dropped it in his water bowl. You can see the dumper going in over the canal bridge that once was over the Whitchurch arm of the canal, and then round that sharp corner to the left and up the track towards Chemistry Farm, which is what people keep referring to as the muddy track. I am planning to slow down my updates somewhat to perhaps once weekly, and then I can always add to that if there is more going on, especially when repairs get underway in earnest. Do let me know on what you think of that. As a viewer, like, your comments are appreciated. So you can see them arriving down towards the bridge now. Floodwater in the distance there. I'm turning left now towards the old compound and the lift bridge down the side of the canal towpath proper. You can see where the compound once was on this side of the lift bridge is quite empty now. What will become of that, I'm not sure. Would be quite good if that became a viewing area or something along that line, but whether that would happen, it may be too close to the works. But it would be nice for CRT to engage with the public, not only in these videos and other people's videos, but also more directly. That would be really good. So going over the bridge, you can now see all the stuff that was in that top compound is now down here, and they're using the 9-ton excavator to lift the bowser off the dumper. I presume that's because it hasn't got a hydraulic hitch, it will just have a pin hitch. Being a construction machine, some of the more agricultural machines have a hydraulic hitch. Zoom in a bit and have a bit of a better look, I think. They've actually hitched up 2 sets of chains, commonly known as a pair of brothers. Looks like they're going to lift the actual bowser as one. Maybe that bowser's empty. not full. I'm not sure what the benefit of doing that is. The others, they just attached a chain to the towing eye, backed it in. Looks like they're pulling that out of the way to move the dumper, reverse the dumper out of the way, and they can turn the excavator round, possibly. You can see the boom there on the excavator is sticking right out forwards. If they're turning in a tight spot like here, they might crowd that round, which will make turning easier. See if they do that. That's what I'd do if I was operating. Yeah, that's what they're doing now. See how it's working more at probably 70-80 degrees to the cab now, instead of directly out in front. These compact excavators are really versatile. They have zero tail swings, so they don't swing past the outside of the track. So you can put the track up against the wall and still turn around, not knock the wall down. That's some of the bigger excavators. You see on top of the excavator it's got an orange light and a green light. The orange light is an orange beacon, a warning beacon if you like. The green one, when that's flashing, means that the operator inside has the seatbelt connected, so should have the seatbelt on. Either that or they've connected it and are sat on top of it, but that shows that the seatbelt is in connection with the plug. If you look at most modern plant, they all have the green and the orange light on as a minimum. There's no spill pads or anything around the bowsers yet. Whether they'll come down later on, I'm sure they will. CRT have been well on top of that on this site, I've noticed. So I'm sure that will happen. They are still up in the top compound, so I'm sure they will come down. We said yesterday that the surface they put in wasn't really up for heavy traffic. Well, it's perfectly adequate for what was there. Just flying over to the other side of the breach, you can see that the dry dock area is now half empty and the pumps are pumping water out, so that's a good sign. They've obviously got the pumps working. I did briefly speak to Kieran Lottie Photography when I was down at site, and they said that they were playing with the pumps and it looked like they were full of trash or muck or debris or something, which they cleaned that out. Obviously they seem to be working now. And back to the other side again, just before I finish. You can see the 9 ton moving his buckets out of the way. Excavators such as this, most modern excavators, some of the smaller ones still have a manual hitch, but most of these have a hydraulic quick hitch. Just see as it goes up to this bucket. I presume he'll keep this bucket on. The others he was just moving, so he didn't lock them on. Straightening it up, hooking into it. You crowd this right up towards his boom and in towards the cab, and then you press a button and it hydraulically locks the bucket on, and then it looks like he's moving this bit of stone. I was told that bit of stone was tipped there by accident almost, in as much as the dumper that had it looked like it got stuck on the field, which is very wet there. So whether he tipped the load there to lighten the load to then draw out, so it looks like that's just being transported by the excavator back up to the compound. So anyway, thank you for watching, and do subscribe for future updates, and I look forward to any comments you send me. I'll read them as best I can and respond to as many as possible, and we'll see you in the next video. Got quite a good video coming up about how you pronounce Llangollen, or Llangollen, or Llangollen, or however it's said. We'll have the definitive answer. Do watch out for that video, should be quite comical. Got a quite an important guest speaking on that one. Okay, thank you, see you next time.